With the release of Shadow of the Erdtree, the first DLC for From Software's legendary magnum opus Elden Ring, players finally have answers to some of the original game's biggest lore mysteries. But one thing that players have begun to notice is a glaring oversight that has yet to be addressed in the game since its release on February 25, 2022, and it begs the question: is Hidetaka Miyazaki-san's dark fantasy masterpiece in fact AI slop? For those of you feeling out of the loop, let's go back to how this all began. Players have pointed out that many of the elements featured in Elden Ring appear in unconventional numbers, such as characters presenting with an incorrect number of fingers or limbs, and this trend appears to extend to other areas of the game as well. If you aren't familiar with AI-generated art, just know that errors in anatomy of this kind are one of the telltale signs of its use. So let's get back to the original question. Are these errors a sign of the use of AI in Elden Ring? To find our answer, we need to take a look back through the other entries in the Souls meta-series for evidence there. In fact, as far back as the original Dark Souls released to critical acclaim on September 22, 2011, From Software appears to have had trouble keeping track of the correct number of things in their games. Take for instance the Bells of Awakening. In the first location that players can explore in Dark Souls, the Northern Undead Asylum, players can encounter a knight from Astora, who gives you this explanation. "There is an old saying in my family, thou who art undead art chosen. In thine exodus from the Undead Asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the Bell of Awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know." However, upon arrival in Lordran, players can encounter another character, the Crestfallen Warrior. This character offers the player some helpful advice, and actually has some contradictory information to what we have just heard. Let me help you out. There are actually two Bells of Awakening. One's up above in the Undead Church, the other is far, far below in the ruins at the base of Blighttown. Ring them both and something happens. So the Crestfallen Warrior suggests that there is actually more than one bell, and if we proceed through the game as normal, we can confirm this to be true, ringing both bells to gain access to Sen's Fortress. This error has not been addressed in either of the game's re-releases, Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition and Dark Souls Remastered, released on August 24, 2012 and May 24, 2018 respectively. So what does all of this tell us about Elden Ring? Well, from the moment we have access to Elden Ring's incredibly vast and detailed open world, the player can learn the truth of this for themselves, and can in fact encounter many more bells. This is primarily thanks to the prevalence of the walking mausoleums, colossal wandering tombs found throughout the lands between. In the base game of Elden Ring, there are in fact as many as 5 additional Bells of Awakening. What do you think of this theory? Do you think that these errors will be addressed in a future patch, or should From Software leave them in the game as an Easter egg for veteran fans of the series? Make sure to let us know in the comments below.